But that's where Villa could get exposed. But obviously, they should have scored just before then. Target blazing over from about 2 yards out. Ball over the top. This is going to bounce through to David De Gea. Watkins, he possibly hasn't figured as much as others for Aston Villa going forward. Obviously, the acquisition of Danny Ings. It's not a like-for-like replacement for Jack Grealish, of course. And there was the suggestion that maybe it would be Watkins who would be forced out of position, as Pogba can't control on the left touchline. Throw in Villa. But Dean Smith has come out and said he sees Ings and Watkins as a partnership, as opposed to one playing through the middle and one on the left, two up front. Obviously, Ings has got a couple of goals since the switch. Cash wants somebody to come close to him. 20 minutes gone at Old Trafford. Independent, unofficial, off-tube studio commentary. Manchester United have had more chances, but it's a brilliant opportunity. The best of the game. It's the best of the season for Aston Villa. He's obviously not listening to this, but I don't want to put undue criticism on target. He's 2 yards out and he's blazed over. Wan-Bissaka shows good composure there, and the switch of play means Shaw's got space. Plenty of Villa players back defending on this occasion. Worked out to Pogba on the left. Ronaldo's up there as well. Back out to Pogba. Pogba on the touchline. Doesn't want to cross with his left foot. Comes back to Fernandes. 25 yards out. Curler towards the far post. Might have been going for goal. Might have been going for Ronaldo. It's found neither. And it's behind for a goal kick to Aston Villa. Martinez wasn't 100% sure. He probably knew it was off target, but he wasn't quite sure that Ronaldo wasn't going to get his head to it. So it remains 0-0 at Old Trafford. Unofficial off-tube studio commentary. As I said moments ago, United 2 or 3 chances, 2 or 3 decent chances, but absolute gilt-edged one for Aston Villa. Maguire again beats Ings to the ball. Oh, it's an awful back pass. Should be a chance for Watkins. Oh, it's saved by David De Gea. And the save ricocheted off Ings back to him, and he could pick it up. Not for the first time. Manchester United are playing silly devils at the back. It's an awful pass from Maguire, and then De Gea on the stretch has merely cleared the ball to the edge of the box, only to Watkins, who took a touch, drove it towards goal. De Gea's made the save. It's ricocheted off Ings back to De Gea, and De Gea's given a right mouthful to Harry Maguire. If you're going to play, they haven't learned. It was only a week, 9 days ago that United, of course, were beaten in the Champions League with a terrible back pass. And Maguire is the man in shot. It was a terrible back pass. I mean, De Gea's not making runs because there's 2 Villa players in the box. So just pass it to me so I don't have to stretch. And I'm not saying De Gea didn't have any kind of culpability there, but he wouldn't have been expecting having to stretch for that. Here's Wan-Bissaka down the right, finds Greenwood, back to Wan-Bissaka. A reverse pass to Fernandes, edge of the box, and it's a misjudgment of McGinn, pulls it back. Oh, Wan-Bissaka stuck out of boots, come to Pogba, left-footed shot, took a deflection, goes for a corner. And that would have wrong-footed Martinez. But it was dribbling. Maybe Wan-Bissaka took it away from Ronaldo, but it still fell to Pogba. Villa getting bodies back. And it's just a corner kick in the end. Taken short, not for the first time. And then it's poor from Fernandes. Shot comes in from Fernandes after a miscontrol from Ramsey. It was blocked. Come back out to Fernandes. Right wing now on his left foot. Crosses in. Headed cleared though by Konza, one back by Varane. Pogba goes for goal, blocked by the legs of Hauser, and then Villa try and bring it away. And then Luke Shaw, slightly wrong-footed by a deflection. Ramsey, I think, is down with a head injury. United is still on the attack because there was no foul. Now Fernandes, 25 yards out, miscued. And then it's blocked away by McGinn. And that'll just be a throw-in. But harem-scarum stuff, really. United are arguably, well, there's no arguing about it, bringing trouble on themselves for their last Villa attack. Prior to that, they were undone by a great move, particularly from Cash. He's running pass from McGinn. Now it's Ronaldo cutting in from the left. Shot blocked by the raft of white shirts. Comes back to him. Back heel to Luke Shaw. Stabbed into Fernandes. Tees up Fred. Not renowned for his shooting, Fred. And he went for placement. Got underneath it. It's like a sand wedge. Out towards the corner flag as well. And that'll be a goal kick. I mean, the last attack, actually, that Manchester United had, Villa, a couple of times, could have cleared their lines. They tried to play their way out of trouble, and Manchester United kept the pressure on. Luke Shaw's gone down, needs a bit of treatment. Gareth Southgate and Steve Clarke, England and Scotland managers, sat next to each other, looking on. Didn't appear to be too much of an exchange of views between the two, but Gareth Southgate might just be a little bit concerned. Obviously, international weekend coming up. 9th and 10th of October is the the actual weekend in that international break. But obviously there'll be games Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Maybe Chelsea's best player has been.
Back to the halfway line and Varane. Infield to Maguire. Over to Shaw on the left. Drilled forward onto the right boot of Mings, who volleys it back to the halfway line. Maguire beats Watkins in the air. But then Ramsey beats McTominay and again invites Cash forward again down the right. Cuts inside Luke Shaw, who steps right across Cash. That will be a yellow card. It was pretty blatant from Luke Shaw. This is the sort of yellow card I do not disagree with. It seems to be something in the game now. Don't bother tracking back, just concede the free kick wherever there might be a break on. It's been called tactical fouls, but I mean, it's been going around for years, but it's certainly more prevalent these days. Just bring them down and we'll regroup. Free kick on the halfway line, aimed towards Tyrone Mings' left-hand side. Oh, he nods it back to two players. He's going furious because it's between the two players, bounces into touch, and a throw in to Manchester United. And Mings is furious that neither Ramsey or Targett reacted to his header. I'm not convinced that it wasn't Tyrone Mings' fault. Luke Shaw was under a little bit of pressure. Again, closed down by Cash, but he finds the ball down the line to Pogba. That is the problem with Cash doing the pressing. There's nobody in that sort of wide position defensively for Villa. Now it's Greenwood on the attack left-hand side. Gets to the edge of the box, fires it in there. Mings ahead of Ronaldo, clears it up in the air. Konza helps it further away from danger. Now Cash, can he keep it in? No, he hasn't. He stopped Luke Shaw getting the ball, but the throw-in is Manchester United's, 30 yards from goal, left-hand side. And United back on the attack. This sort of attacking triumvirate that Manchester United have. Throw-ins actually come to nothing, but then it's a terrible clearance from Cash, straight back to Shaw. So Manchester United still have possession in the final quarter hour of the opening half. Pogba has had a quiet start to the game. Again, he's trying his tricks. Just outnumbered in the end. And he's caught Ings all the way back there, helping out defensively from behind. That'll be a free kick. No complaints from Paul Pogba. And pat on the back for Ings. He appreciates it was a foul. Ings accepts it. No malice. Certainly, it was only a trip, if that. And Villa back in possession. So it's still 0-0 at Old Trafford. I don't know how. Pointing at the target chance. Watkins almost as gilt-edged. He's 12 yards out with a keeper to beat. He's gone for power, and it's too close to De Gea in the end. A decent save from De Gea. Martinez clears. Maguire heads to Shaw though. Has he kept it in? No, he hasn't. Throw in Villas halfway inside the Manchester United half, right hand side. Cash has had an excellent start to the game. Marauding down that right hand side. He has sort of left space in behind. I don't want to keep talking about that, but the threat that he's offered down that right hand side is drawn a yellow card out of Luke Shaw. Another poor header from a Villa forward player. This time it's Ings. Mings beats Ronaldo to the ball, but only finds Maguire, who switches it out from left to right. Wan-Bissaka to Greenwood, back to Wan-Bissaka. Greenwood, I think Wan-Bissaka wanted a runner. Greenwood has stayed where he is. Wan-Bissaka switches play right to left. It's still in the United half. I mentioned Manchester United had more attempts. 11 to Villa's 2. The problem for Manchester United, they haven't created anything as clear-cut as the two that Villa have. Two best chances of the half. Probably the best chance fell to Green, but I suppose you could argue that was as good as Ronaldo's, as Watkins. Targett just got a foot in as Fred was trying to tease it through to McTominay. McTominay took a touch, but then Targett got a little deflection which ricocheted off McTominay, goes behind, and it will be a goal kick. Luke Shaw sat down again. He's going to need more treatment, which may suggest Manchester United are going to need to make a change, because this is the second time. Options on the bench. Dalot is, of course, a fullback, naturally right-footed. Would seem there's plenty of heated discussions going on the Villa sidelines. Dalot is coming on for Luke Shaw. I don't know whether it's a hamstring injury or anything like that. Still goalless Chelsea-Manchester City, by the way. I don't think it's an impact injury. He might have tweaked something. Obviously, I'm guessing. It wasn't that long after there was a little accidental collision. Shaw and Ramsey in the middle. I don't know whether that had something to do with it, but that is the change. So enforced on Manchester United. Who's going to play left-hand side? Dalot or Wan-Bissaka? Into the 35th minute at Old Trafford. Independent, unofficial off-tube studio commentary. I mean, he's walking, but seemingly unimpeded. Another header forward from Mings. Ings keeps it alive, and now Target is breaking down the left-hand side. Low ball in, but it's too early, perhaps. And Maguire is ahead of Ings and clears away. Villa throw taken by Mings. Finds Watkins back to the centre circle. Ronaldo is putting Hauser under a little bit of pressure. And Fernandes will follow suit. So Villa have to go back to Martinez. And he will clear first time downfield. Watkins beats Varane in the air. But target closed down by Wan-Bissaka. Just the Villa throw. I mentioned the shots. Both sides have had one on target, so there might have been 11 shots from Manchester United, but they've only hit the target once. As Villa continue to attack, throw in, cleared this time by Fred, back to the throw-in taker, target onto the head of Maguire, decent header downfield. Greenwood can't add anything extra onto that, so it's going to be a Villa throw halfway inside the United half, left-hand side. Dean Smith will be quite happy with the start his side's made. Probably thinking we should be 2-0 up. Probably what he's thinking. At worst, 2-1. As United clear their lines. But again, Mings wins a header. This time, Fernandes stops Ramsey from getting the ball. United have the throw-in. Halfway inside their own half. Fernandes wants to take it. Doesn't do Fred any favours. And so it's coughed up possession. But I will tell you that Wan-Bissaka's still playing on the right. Wan-Bissaka looks for Fernandes. Has he kept it in? No, he hasn't. Well, this throw-in, when it gets taken, is about 10 yards where the ball went out. They were trying to take a quick one. That's why I thought it might have been a problem. But in the end, it wasn't as quick as it could have been. Villa still get a cross in from the left. Maguire beat Ings to the ball. McTominay heads clear. Fernandes further downfield. But Villa are winning all the second balls at the moment, really. They'll not make pass from target. And Ings has broken down the left-hand side. Gets to the goal line. Back onto his right foot. Fred tries to clear with an overhead kick. That was a little bit ambitious as Fernandes then into the back of Luis. That'll be a free kick. Villa haven't had a position like this set piece wise. It's very central. Surely they'll go for goal. I mean, Fernandes is moaning. He does like a moan, Fernandes. He might be suggesting that the challenge wasn't as physical as Luis is making out, but he certainly got the man. None of the ball. Quite literally none of the ball. And there's no surprise, it's a free kick. Danny Ings an option. Is he? No, Luis is an option. McGinn's an option. It looks as though Luis has taken charge more of this situation. Pretty central. Outside the D. But centrally outside the D. And now United have got a man lying down behind the wall. McGinn's the left-footed option. It's going to be Luis with it. He's got it up and over the wall, and it's wide of the target. Difficult to work out if De Gea knew that was wide or not. Oh, it took a deflection off Maguire in the end, so it's comfortably wide. The original angle, making excuses for myself, didn't make that obvious. So a corner kick to Aston Villa. They haven't had one so far. Tyrone Mings, an obvious threat. He's been winning plenty in the air. They're trying to crowd the keeper as well, or Aston Villa. Lots of jostling, pushing, shoving, moving around. It's into the 6-yard box. Oh, what a chance for Aston Villa. It's over the bar. I think that's Ezri Konza up from the back, inside the 6-yard box. And again, it's over the bar. 4-5 yards out. I suppose it's quite high and he couldn't quite get over the top of it. But that's got to go down as a good chance. Great chance. So Villa might be shy on the shot count, but you want golden chances, gilt-edged. They've had 3 of them. And they could be home and hosed in this game. Here's Dallot to the edge of the box. That's a poor touch from Greenwood. Although Cash under pressure. Might have been clipped by Fernandez, but he's got back on his feet quickly and spread play out to Target on the left. The break is on. Ings from Target onto his right foot. Tried a reverse ball for the run of Ramsey, but Wan-Bissaka got a vital sort of half block, and that's worked out for Manchester United. Now Wan-Bissaka is bringing it down the right-hand side. Pogba tries a diagonal into the box. Konza gets above Ronaldo. And now Cash under a little bit of pressure, but shows decent strength, although Hauser waited to be closed down by Ronaldo there. And Ronaldo got half a block in. It's spun away for a throw-in, I beg your pardon, for Aston Villa. Maybe 20 yards from their own goal line. But, Aston Villa. United were sort of creating opportunities quite frequently in the first half of this first half. But the second half, chances have dried up. But Villa looking more solid at the back. And they've created a couple of chances that they should have scored, admittedly one from a back pass. Here's McTominay trying to change that though. Finds Dallot, who's in a very advanced position, out to the left, cross sort of half charged down as it came in. That means it doesn't beat Konza near post, and he hammers into touch, throw-in just for Manchester United. Near the corner flag, left-hand side as the home side attack. Looking for options. It's onto the chest of Greenwood in the box. He's able to bring it down, and as he tries to go around Hauser, it's Konza rather. He just lost possession. The Konza then ended up on the ground. Greenwood was wagging his finger at the referee, suggesting he hadn't touched him. Free kick's been given. There was as much contact there as there was on Hauser when Greenwood initially got the ball, but it's easier to give a defensive free kick. All I'm saying is I don't think either were fouls. I'm not saying anybody should have had a penalty, but it's easier to give a defensive free kick than it is a penalty. Mike Dean, the official, incidentally. Mings wins another header, but McGinn can't control. Ball is up to Ronaldo, who was under pressure. He's just pushed over in the end by Hauser, who's then smashed it downfield. United are complaining that it's time wasting, but I think that's a little bit desperate. Only been one yellow card in the game. That, of course, was to Luke Shaw, and he's since gone off injured. Ollie Watkins isn't 10 yards. The referee's got his back to him at the moment. Ollie Watkins is a one-man wall. Fernandez with the free kick. Deep forward the far post. Free header! Oh, brilliant save from a tight angle. Comes out to Greenwood. His shot took a deflection. Maguire's kept it alive though. Far post. It was Maguire with the initial header. Cross comes back in. And I think that took 2 deflections. One off Varane, one off Hauser. Spun away behind. That should be a corner kick. I said a free header. It was a free header, but it was a tightish angle. Still, that's a good save from Martinez. Diving to his left. It was a nice height. Corner comes in towards the far post, and it's over everybody's head. That's probably Manchester United's best chance of the game as Pogba and Target come together. Who's got the decision? Villa and adamant it's theirs. Pogba's laughing because he knows it's United's, knows in the sense that he thinks he's right. And I think ultimately the decision has gone Aston Villa's way. Looking at if that's a free kick to Villa, we might as well pretend that it's not contact sport. I think he's given a goal kick, but really that should be a corner. No, he's given the free kick. It's ridiculous. Target went to play the ball. Pogba was thinking about tackling, didn't follow through, and so Target's tripped over nothing. Benefit of hindsight, obviously. I appreciate that. Referees don't get everything right. It's a matter of opinion anyway. Into the final minute of the opening 45. Might be a little bit of extra time. Luke Shaw's had a couple of injuries. Wan-Bissaka and Varane trying to play their way out of trouble. They're inviting a bit of pressure on, but this time they've actually played it well. Having said that, Villa still have a fair degree of defenders back there. Ronaldo has it. A couple of step overs. Then the ball gets away from him only as far as Pogba. He goes down under pressure from McGinn, but Pogba gets the free kick. And McGinn... This was what I find funny about football. They know Target's dive for a free kick at the other end, and then they complain when the opposition do it. It's you live by the sword, you die by the swords. You can't have it both ways, in my opinion. I think all you want from referees is consistency. That's what I would suggest. Again, I don't really think it's a free kick. You know, if I was the referee, I wouldn't give it. Free kick, left of the D, within 25 yards. 4 minutes of stoppage time to be played. We've had 45 seconds. Of course, the last free kick, it was Fernandes who took it. And he hit the wall. This is the last Manchester United free kick. I think Ronaldo's going to go for goal this time. He hits the wall as well. And a ball spins away towards the corner flag. Greenwood will actually keep it in. It was going to go out for a throw-in if it was going to go out. Greenwood trying to get the better of Ramsey. Can't quite do so. Ramsey stuck to the task. Blocks it behind. Still a corner kick, though, to Manchester United. Pressure on the visitors in stoppage time at the end of the first half. Although we've had 3 free kicks in the game. 2 for United, 1 for Aston Villa. And not one of them's beaten the wall. In whichever form you want to say. The wall has done its job so far. I think it was Pogba with a second touch, with Varane getting the one near post. It was Pogba and it was Varane. And the deflection for Varane actually was well read by Pogba. It wasn't a late adjustment. That has shaved the upright on the far post. Martinez is not saving that if it's on target. There's no Villa player on the post. It's the wrong side of the upright. So that would have to go down as a good chance. Goal kick to Aston Villa. McTominay has beaten Ings in the air. No initial foul given, but the referee stopped play because Ings is clutching the back of his head. He's talking with Ings at the moment. McTominay's just come across to make sure. Remains goalless. This might just be Manchester United repossession. Referee stopped the play due to a head injury. Ings is okay to continue. And might just add a few seconds on to 4 minutes of stoppage time. We've had 3.5 of them, so there isn't long left. As Varane has it inside his own half, out to Wan-Bissaka. No real options for Wan-Bissaka, so he'll just play for the throw-in off the legs of target. And it is a throw-in to United. Just inside Villa territory, right-hand side. With maybe 10 seconds left of the initial 45. Pogba gets a flick on, having got in front of Hauser. Can't find either Ronaldo or Fernandes. McTominay's won another header, but so has Douglas Luiz. Then Maguire beats Watkins in the air. And I think that is half-time. And a harem-scarum half, really. Chances at both end. 2-3 very good chances for Aston Villa. More chances for United. Perhaps not so many clear-cut ones, but none of them have been taken. At the break, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been golden chances at either end, with the target blazing over from 2 yards out after a great run from Cash. Watkins couldn't beat De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and Konsa's headed over from inside the 6-yard box. Having said that, United have had double figures shots. Greenwood and Pogba with their best efforts, but neither have been taken. 0-0. Half-time at Old Trafford, it's Manchester United 0, Aston Villa 0, but that doesn't tell the whole story. There have been Well, warm welcome back to our coverage of the action taking place at Old Trafford. Independent, unofficial off-tube studio commentary, and it's 0-0 at the break. But obviously, there's been chances. It's amazing. It's 0-0, particularly from a Villa viewpoint. United have had lots of more chances, but Villa's have been all in pretty much. I'm not going to say open goals because that's perhaps over egging it. Obviously, Target was arguably an open goal because Wan-Bissaka missed it, and David De Gea was at the near post, Target was at the far post, and he hit it over the bar. But obviously, Watkins was denied by De Gea after a terrible back pass from Maguire, and of course, De Gea didn't deal with it particularly well. And Konza, inside the 6-yard box from a corner, couldn't keep his header down as well. But that might be the only 3 efforts that Villa have had. But on another day, they would have scored all 3. On another day, they could have been 3-0 up. Manchester United on the attack straight away. Wan-Bissaka, Fernandes, all reverse pass, took a deflection. The break is on for Aston Villa. That's a poor layoff from Danny Ings, though, straight to Wan-Bissaka again. Now Fernandes to Wan-Bissaka. Oh, and there's a really poor touch from Fernandes, having got the return ball. It's into touch, throw into Aston Villa inside their own halfway around about. So a reminder of the lineups then for you. For Manchester United, it's De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Varane, Maguire, Dalot, of course a first half substitute, the injured Luke Shaw, and McTominay, Fred, Greenwood, Fernandes, Pogba and Ronaldo. And for Villa, it's Martinez, Mings, Hauser, Konza, Cash, Target, Luis, McGinn, Ramsey, Ings and Watkins. Yeah, obviously I've talked about the Villa chances there, but Greenwood had a very good opportunity, possibly an even better one. Fernandes had he passed it, but still he's within 10 yards, keeper to beat. Good save Martinez. Free header from Maguire at the far post. Good save. The angle wasn't particularly brilliant, but it still forced a good save out of Martinez. And then Pogba shaved an upright with a header from a corner as well, as Dalot stops Cash getting down the right-hand side at the expense of a throw-in. It's still goalless in the other game that's been played at 12:30. Chelsea against Manchester City. I doubt there's been as many chances in that game as there has in this. As Cash looks as though he's going to... he's ushered everyone away. He's got a long throw coming up and then takes it short to Luis. Now Luis crosses. That's a good-looking ball in. It's headed away by Raphael Varane. Mings was ahead of him. Pogba tries to get it out of the area. I suppose he has affected that, but he's only found a Villa player. As McGinn tries to get away down the right-hand side. That's blocked by Dalot. That's gone behind. That'll be a corner kick. Corner kick Villa at the start of this second half. I think they only had 2 in the first half. Not that there was a raft of corners, but I think Manchester United, that's probably the one stat I say that, they had more goal attempts as corners, an in-swinger towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Maguire heads clear, headed back in by Ings. It's still alive, although Maguire beats Watkins to the ball, and then there's a free kick Man United. I don't know if that's offside, didn't look a foul, but it's possibly offside, but certainly it's a free kick to Manchester United. That's what Mike Dean has given. So pressure off the home side. Let's have another look. This is actually the long throw situation as Manchester United try and play their way out of trouble. That was a good gamble from Mings initially, but all he did was stop Greenwood getting away, and then Fernandes tried to play it where Mings was to the now in space Greenwood. It was a very tough ball to execute given the lack of space, and he's overhit it into touch. Villa have the throw in on the halfway line, and now it's with Ramsey, left edge of the pitch. Finds Watkins, but he's under pressure, goes back to Target. Mings back to Watkins, now Target inside the full back, but Wan-Bissaka's read it, couldn't go back to goal because that was cut off by Danny Ings. Wan-Bissaka wins the free kick off Watkins, desperate to win the ball back, and then stopped a quick free kick being taken. That appears to be not a problem anymore. And then it's they're playing their way out of trouble and they play their way into it again. Manchester United ball in towards Watkins, tees out for Ings. He goes down under pressure from Maguire from behind. Is this a penalty? I don't know what the referee's given. It's offside. That is what it is. It's offside. Stemming from a free kick from Manchester United within their own 18-yard box. They've played it to a keeper who didn't want it, who's floated it out to a left-back who didn't want it, and they've immediately given possession away. I mean, why do players do this? Every team does it. Time and time again, you watch a Premier League match and a keeper gets a ball that he doesn't want and they're constantly into trouble. It led to a very good opportunity in the first half for Aston Villa, and United haven't learnt. This time Villa got a free kick. Can tell you there's been another goal. Well, there's been a goal in the other game, and Gabriel Jesus has put Man City 1-0 up at Chelsea. Going back to the offside, it was offside. I'm not even convinced it was a penalty had it not been given offside. It's one of those where a defender's running alongside an attacker. Seen them not given in the Premier League this season. Villa on the attack, right hand side with Ramsey. Fizzed ball in. It's behind Ings. A touch though will find Watkins, who's coming onto his right foot. Shot charged down in the end, and that's gone wide for I was going to say goal kick, but Watkins is offside again. So free kick is Manchester United's as they go long and early for Greenwood in behind, and the space was there, but the pass, well, it just one bounce skips away from Greenwood and is through to Martinez. But it's been a good start to the second half for Villa as Mings wins a free kick off Greenwood inside his own half. But a good start from Villa to the half. And as I say, if you went on volume of chances, you'd think Manchester United should be in front. They, of course, outshot West Ham in the Cup and lost 1-0. They've only hit the target once. United have only hit the target twice out of 15 goal attempts. Villa have had 4 goal attempts, 1 on target, but they've all been pretty clear-cut. Throw-in given against Villa. Douglas Luiz is furious. He felt it came off Fred last. It's inside the United half. United haven't got going in the second half. Pogba needs to get involved. Fernandes is getting very deep. Not seeing an awful lot of McTominay or Fred. Maguire's down on the turf outside his box. He's just taken his shin pad off. He seems to be fiddling around with his left calf. So that could be an issue. Let's have a look at the benches. For the home side, obviously they've already brought on Dalot for sure. Van der Beek, Lindelof, Matic, Lingard, Sancho, Cavani, Heaton and Martial are options available to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Dean Smith could call on El Ghazi, Buendia, Baghardi, Chukwuemeka, Archer, Nakamba, Traore, Steer, and of course, former United player, Ashley Young. But obviously this could be a blow for Manchester United. Maguire, a stalwart of the defence, and they've already lost Luke Shaw to injury. So it's his left calf that's the issue, getting a little bit of treatment, stoppage in play. Manchester United wouldn't obviously be happy about losing 2 to injury in one game, particularly when both are defenders. Not necessarily easy to deal with. He's back on his feet and he's put his shin pad back in. He's walking off because he's had treatment. Presumably, though, having put his shin pad back on, he's going to come back onto the pitch. This, of course, may affect Manchester United's ability to win the game because they've had to make defensive one defensive change, using up a substitute, and if Maguire has to go off, it'd be 2 defensive changes. McTominay at the moment is filling in a centre-back position. Maguire is back on the field now as Aston Villa have a throw-in. Towards the halfway line they go back, but Cons is in space, forced a little bit wide, but under no real pressure at the moment. As Cash tries to get him behind Dalot. Dalot's read the play, hooks it over his shoulder, only as far as McGinn. Poor touch from the Scotland international. Throw into Manchester United, but 30 yards from their own corner flag. Barely got out of their half this second half, Manchester United. As Fernandes gives the ball away on the halfway line and then tackles the ball into the Villa half. But Hauser's there, beating Ronaldo and Greenwood to the ball. Eventually clearing downfield up to the halfway line. Fred wins. Dalot finds Pogba. Forward towards Ronaldo. Stepped over it for Dalot, who was off onside. Now it's a left-footed cross. It's over 4 players in the middle. Wan-Bissaka will keep it alive for Manchester United. Back to McTominay. Wan-Bissaka back to McTominay. Made a bit of a meal of that one. They still have possession though, just about. They're going away from goal. That wasn't good play from McTominay or Wan-Bissaka, but Greenwood's kept it alive. Oh, and then McTominay and Wan-Bissaka have conceded a throw-in. That was terrible, really. The more and more they played touches they had, the more they played each other into trouble. Greenwood came and helped them out. And then McTominay has played it into touch for a throw-in to Aston Villa. It's forced Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out of his seat. It might just be because, is that Victor Lindelof getting ready to come on? Don't think Maguire can continue. Solskjaer is just coming down to have a word with Lindelof. And again, another throw into Aston Villa. Yeah, Villa, the brighter of the two sides at the start of this second period. It's not saying an awful lot. I don't think Villa have necessarily been dominating or anything like that. They've just looked a little bit sharper as Villa go back to Martinez. Cash up long and early to Ings, flicks on, trying to get in McGinn behind Maguire. Early ball in towards Watkins. It goes down under pressure for Wan-Bissaka. Watkins wants a penalty. I don't think he's going to get it. He's not offside this time. Villa win it back on the halfway line as Luis plays it out to McGinn down the line, looking for the run of Cash, closed down by Maguire. He puts Cash under pressure, and then Cash can't control, and it goes into touch. The throw-in is given by the linesman or assistant referee. Cash wants a free kick. He felt he was getting just pushed a little bit by Maguire. I wouldn't disagree, but the referees are letting those sort of challenges go a little bit more. But yeah, United are all over the place, and I don't think Pogba playing on the left is helping them. He's doing nothing in this game. Ronaldo's a spectator. Greenwood's been the liveliest in terms of an attacking sense. Fernandes is probably trying to fill too many holes, and it's not working for Manchester United. Villa will be happy to stick with the same 11, I think, because they're causing problems. They are the away side, let's not forget that. And again, Wan-Bissaka takes a touch, takes an ace to clear his lines. It's blocked into touch, and Man United will get the throw. But it's been the story of the game as far as Manchester United are concerned. If Villa aren't attacking and Manchester United can counter, then they're just taking too long in possession all over the pitch, and Villa are just putting them under pressure as McTominay actually wins a throw-in nearer his own corner flag of Danny Ings. I don't know what Manchester United are trying to do at the moment. It's not an awful lot. And they like a back pass to David De Gea because... and it's a terrible back pass from David De Gea. David De Gea is giving it straight to Danny Ings. Honestly, if Roy Keane was on this pitch, he would be punching his own teammates right now. This has happened from the first half. Nothing has been learnt. Who is saying anything? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer isn't getting any instructions down. Villa, there's a chance here. They've got to start being a little bit more clinical in front of goal. They've got a corner kick here. And they've caused one or two threats from set pieces. It's going to be an in-swinger from their left. They're lowered in the 6-yard box. Lots of defenders in there as well. Ramsey's unmarked in the D. But they've gone in towards the near post. Straight onto Fernandez's boot, and he volleys it downfield. A little bit of respite for Manchester United. Coming up to an hour gone. No chances in the second half. Not any that are counted. Watkins felt he could have had a penalty, and so could Danny Ings, but offsides helped them out. Here is Fred on the halfway line. Plays it early for Greenwood in behind, but Martinez came out of his area to clear. Needed to, because that looked to be weighted perfectly from Fred. Fernandez switches play from right to left, and Pogba's got Dalot and Ronaldo to his outside. He's going infield, feeds it to Ronaldo. Left edge of the box. One step over, two steppers. Pulled it back to McTominay. Tees up. Pogba goes for a curler. Can't keep it down. Just over. It's only just over. Well, it's the first and best chance of the second half. Into the 61st minute, still 0-0. Independent, unofficial, off-tube studio commentary. Still 1-0 Man City lead at Chelsea in the other 12:30 game. Gabriel Jesus with the goal. Maybe that chance for Pogba will just liven up the home side in this clash, because they've been second best in the second half. Dalot, that's a good ball finding Ronaldo. The back heel though doesn't find McTominay, and now the break is on. Fred's bailed out Ronaldo, who's gone back there defensively to try and help out. Now Wan-Bissaka is trying to get away from would-be tacklers, has to go back into his own half to Fred. Now it's with Ronaldo right-hand side, back to Fred. Dalot's in space on the left, found now by the Brazilian, down the line for Pogba, just on the edge of the box. Left-footed cross, blocked straight away by Konza. Throw-in is Manchester United, 20 yards from goal. And Dalot goes back towards Maguire, who must have shrugged off whatever injury it was, because certainly Lindelof was putting shin pads on and getting ready to come on. But the change, that was a while ago. Mings eases Fernandez out of the way. No free kick this time. Again, there was a little bit of a push, but no foul given. Now a ball hit long, and Maguire has arguably just taken McGinn out there. The referee, Mike Dean, shakes his head, says no foul. There's a case there that was last man. Now Maguire's not quick. He went to get the intercept. McGinn just headed it on. The arms came out on the shoulder. Maguire onto McGinn. That's got to be a free kick. I don't think it's a red card, because anybody's quicker than Harry Maguire. But, I mean, it's terrible defending. Where is Rafael Varane? Where is Wan-Bissaka? And United are just all over the place at the moment. They've got no shape or structure, and they don't really know what they're doing. And Varane has played it down the line. McTominay's done well to keep it in. And then he's caught by Douglas Luiz. That'll be a free kick to Manchester United. Probably running salt into McGinn's wounds. And he's still chirping away at the referee. Mike Dean, the official, incidentally. That's got to be a free kick at the absolute minimum against Maguire. It's one thing saying it's a coming together, but when you know you're beaten and the arms come out of the shoulder, you know exactly what you're doing. Presumably VAR's had a check or something. They can't give a red card. They're not going to put it back for a free kick. Free kick to Manchester United, deep towards the far post, and Maguire up in an attacking position there. Goes down, felt he was pulled down by Konza to his back, who's got something to say. I mean, there was a little bit of a grab last season. It's probably a straight red for the defender, but yeah, I'm all over it. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Maguire's got hold of Konza's shirt. Konza's got hold of Maguire's shirt. How can you possibly give a free kick, a penalty? I mean, players, if he wasn't holding Konza's shirt, you might say he's got a point. But if both players have got a handful of shirt, you can't give a free kick one way or the other. You can't. Anyway, no free kick given. Officials have got that right. Ball over the top. Varane should get there ahead of Watkins. Doesn't risk the back pass this time. McGinn goes down under pressure from Fred, and Fred's done really well to beat two. Now it's played forward by Fernandes to Greenwood, who's got wrong side. He's just forced himself a little wide. Still gets a shot off. Tight angle, lack the power or the accuracy. And that's a comfortable save for Martinez. As I say, Greenwood's been the liveliest of the attacking players for Manchester United. I mean, Fernandes has probably been a little bit deeper than he ordinarily would like, but he's still getting involved. I think Pogba and Ronaldo have been quiet. Of course, the two superstars, if you like. They've been quiet. McTominay and Fred, I don't think, have got as involved as they ought to be. I say that. Fred's done a decent job defensively. Early ball in from Villa. Too close to David De Gea. And now Watkins tries to put pressure on De Gea, but De Gea, and that's a kick out from McGinn. He's caught Fernandes. And that'll be a yellow card from McGinn. Of course, McGinn is thinking about a tackle from last week and is saying, you didn't book Maguire, why are you booking me? It's a different kind of challenge. He's just kicked him, essentially. I'm finding it quite amusing, I have to admit. 66 minutes about to tick over at Old Trafford. No goals as yet. And McGinn is still chirping away. Players really ought to just forget things. It's unbelievable how long they let these things fester. Maguire has eventually departed. Lindelof has replaced Maguire. So that's two changes defensively enforced on Manchester United with a quarter of the game left. A little bit more than that, actually, with time on, etc. As Varane plays it out to Dalot, beaten in the air by Cash. McGinn's got the second ball. Villa have it on the halfway line. Luis works it back out to the right and Cash, but that's a poor pass from Cash infield. Now Fernandes tries to get away in behind Hauser, but the pass from Greenwood just a little. Took him a while to get it under control. Mings has got back. He still has it in the box. He's pirouetting one way, then the other. No support. Gets a shot off. Dragged it wide of the far post. And that will be a goal kick to Aston Villa. Yeah, good save from David De Gea at the other end. Nice strike. Again, just a fraction too close to the keeper. But it's a pretty good save. And he got plenty of meat behind his clearance as well. That's a great looking ball coming back in. Greenwood at the other end, he didn't really have support there. He wanted to play it, I think, to Ronaldo, but having ignored him first time, he did realise that Ronaldo was then in an offside position. So he had to pirouette again. And obviously couldn't hit the target. Ramsey does well with a 50-50, but then so does Lindelof. And now Fernandes finds Ronaldo, who's allowed to turn as well. Shoots, blocked by Mings. Pogba's got the second ball. Fernandes. Pogba makes the run into the box. Fernandes finds him. Oh, shot wide of the near post. I don't think it was deflected. Just couldn't wrap his foot round. He's running to his right ahead of the near post. He needed to get more sort of direction on the ball. In the end, it was a little bit of a topo. Lovely run, though. Lovely pass as well from Fernandes. And this game is just starting to heat up again. It was a quiet start to the second period. Goal kick to Aston Villa. Headed back into the Villa half by Pogba. Only to Konza, who's closed down by Ronaldo, so has to go back towards his own goal. Hauser to Martinez. He clears. Poor touch from McGinn. Pogba has it. McGinn and Cash have won it back. Find Ings hugging the left touchline. Down the line from Cash, but straight to Lindelof. Now Fred. Good composure from him. Finds Wan-Bissaka as well. Streaming forward. Oh, he's left two in his way. Challenge comes in from Target. That was late, as was Mings. Now it's with Fernandes. Tight angle onto his left foot. Is Greenwood rather. This time it's blocked. Spins away. It's going to stay in play. Such was the spin ultimately. Now McTominay. Right to Pogba. Dinks it back out to Fernandes. A little bit behind the playmaker. So he has to go and retrieve. Now it's with Greenwood. Edge of the box. Right edge of the box. Driven shot low. Blocked. And Target takes no chances. Stabs it behind. Just the corner to Manchester United. Still 0-0 at Old Trafford. Both sides could have had plenty in this game, but none have been taken. Time is running out. 18 minutes left plus stoppage time. Corner from Fernandes. Free header from Varane. He didn't quite get the direction. It was took a deflection off a Villa head. Martinez has kept it in though, and now Target is down. Presumably Martinez will put it out. So a breather for all concerned. It was a great run from Wan-Bissaka. And had Target been able to get more of a touch on Wan-Bissaka, I mean, it was clearly an attempt to bring him down, but it was just, I don't know whether it was fatigue, because he's been up and down that left flank all game. But Wan-Bissaka was just getting away from him. He just couldn't get a touch, but it was a clear attempt to bring him down. He just didn't. Looks as though... I thought it was going to be a sub actually, but Villa with the treatment. The Villa players, a few of them, are coming across to get a drink, get some instructions. The United subs warming up. Cavani, one of them, of course, back in the squad today. If results stay as they are, then United would go top because, of course, City winning would only go on to 13 points. United, of course, started on 13 points, so they get a point now. They would be top, but I suppose in that sense, Liverpool would be the winners, even though City would have closed the gap. Manchester United have given the ball back to Aston Villa. Target's had his treatment. 74 minutes just ticking over. Martinez tries to switch play, does, but Pogba closing down Cash. He's just forced a clearance from Cash. Now Fred has it for United inside his own half. Lindelof over to Wan-Bissaka. Lindelof essentially has replaced Maguire like for like, so he's the left of two centre-backs. Fernandes, Greenwood, back into Fred. Greenwood inside his own half. Switch over to Pogba on the left. Both wingers behind the two fullbacks for Manchester United at the moment. Pogba's building up a head of steam. He's come from his own half to the edge of the box. He's beaten two. Left-footed shot. Hits the target. But easy save in the end. I don't want to liken it to Ryan Giggs' run in the FA Cup famously against Arsenal 99, but he ran a long way, beat a couple on the edge of the box, and then had a left foot shot towards goal. High as well, but Martinez up to it. Ball played forward. Watkins won't go and pick it up because it's been indicated he was offside. So Manchester United retrieve the ball in their own half. McTominay now on the halfway line to Ronaldo. Switch of play. Good ball inside target. Greenwood is onside as well. Forced a little bit wide, but support comes from Wan-Bissaka, and now McTominay. Early ball in from him is just too deep. Over the bar, over Ronaldo, behind for a goal kick. So goalless at Old Trafford. It's pretty entertaining 0-0 draw at the moment. Probably more entertaining in terms of chances. I don't know. I'm not watching City at Chelsea, of course, but Chelsea behind with time running out to title favourites Man City. Of course, the game's coming up at 3 o'clock. There's four of them. Everton, Norwich, Leeds, West Ham, Leicester, Burnley and Watford, Newcastle. The late game today, Brentford against Liverpool. Those games in the Premier League all on this service. But still got to find a winner at Old Trafford, as Manchester United are just starting to enjoy a little bit more in terms of possession. Fred's caught McGinn. That's probably going to be a yellow card. It is indeed for Fred. It's a little bit like the McGinn challenge that he got a yellow card for, but it wasn't as an aggressive a kick if McGinn was going to moan about it. He does like to share his opinions with the referee. Does McGinn. Looks as though Buendia is coming on for Aston Villa. I wonder who he's coming on for. Free kick to Villa inside their own half as Hauser launches it long. Left hand side too long, into touch. And that's allowed Villa to make that change, and Buendia's coming on for Danny Ings. Probably hasn't been as involved in this second half as he was the first. He might argue if he'd had the sort of positions that Watkins had, he might have scored, but he looks a little bit disconsolate as he walks off. Nice to see he's taken the earliest opportunity to leave the field. Of course, his side isn't winning, so that does make a difference. Villa will still fancy the chances of winning. Here's Buendia for his first involvement. Out to Watkins on the left, high up the pitch. 25 yards from goal. Pressure though from Manchester United forced Villa back to the halfway line, where Hauser has it for the Midlanders. McGinn, who's got to eventually Target making the run, Cash making the run. Cash gets down the line. Dalot gets a slide in, trying to block the cross, but then the Cruyff turn. Might have been a little bit of contact. Free kick given. Good position for Aston Villa. I don't think that's a free kick, personally. Cash has brought the ball back to his left and then carries on running to the right to make sure there's contact. Dalot's trying to block the cross. That's all he's doing. Personally, I don't think it's a free kick, but that doesn't mean others won't. I'm not entirely convinced there was contact either until Cash fell on top of Dalot. But anyway, 79 minutes just ticking over. In swinging free kick towards the near post. It's volleyed away from about 2 yards from goal by Pogba. Ball over the top, looking for Buendia. McTominay has managed to get there, but it's half blocked and it's needed Varane to stab clear. Hauser works it out to the left-hand side. Still up, of course, from the free kick. Back into Hauser. 25 yards out, very central. Doesn't want to shoot, though. Instead, picks out Buendia, left-hand side, who's got Ramsey to his outside. Hauser tried a little dink pass. Poor clearance from Wan-Bissaka. Straight back to Villa, still on the attack. It's with Buendia trying to get it back to Hauser. Not renowned for his playmaking skills, I don't suppose, but Ramsey is, and drills in a cross. Unfortunately for him, straight to David De Gea. And now the break is on, particularly with Hauser having been high up the pitch, but then Dalot has hit the pass. And now the break is on for Aston Villa as McGinn tries to go around the outside of Lindelof. Ball back in. Buendia with a step over. Tries to work it square. There's a slip from Ramsey. He might have done himself an injury as well. Wan-Bissaka's picked it up. He's certainly not appealing for a penalty. There's a ball over the top and Greenwood will give chase. But again, Martinez has to come outside of his area to clear. That looked a really good opportunity for Villa, and clearly the slip has done some damage. It looks like a knee issue for Ramsey. There's no one around him, certainly not bringing him down for a penalty, so the slip might have just jarred his knee, twisted his knee. He's sat up now, but he is getting treatment. But that would have been a great opportunity. A decent opportunity. There was Varane, McTominay, Wan-Bissaka back there, but facing goal, right foot, ready to shoot. Then he slipped and appears to have done a knee injury. Cavani's come on for Manchester United. It's in place of Scott McTominay. Not McTominay's best game. Probably could have been a bit more involved at both ends of the pitch. I'm not saying he hasn't put the effort in, but yeah, he's not quite at his straps. Cavani's come on, likely to play through the middle. Might just push Ronaldo out to the left. Pogba will go into the middle of the field alongside Fred. Ramsey's walking off. Thumbs up from the physio. And it looks as though he's okay to continue. So you wonder if that injury was just out of embarrassment of slipping or what. Might have just been a twinge at the time. Either way, Dalot, well, he initially lost control and then it wrong-footed Ramsey, so he's got the better of him. Finds Fernandez playing on the left at the moment as Villa have got most back. Forces United back towards the halfway line. Wan-Bissaka's bringing it forward. They're backing off. Works it out to Greenwood. Onto his left foot. Cross towards the far post. Headed towards goal by Fernandez. Fernandez wants something. I'm not entirely sure what. He was backpedaling and he had to get up as high as he could. It had no power whatsoever, the free kick. It was probably going wide of the post. But it was just picked out of the air by Martinez. Lindelof comes off best in an aerial battle with Watkins. Ronaldo, well, he's lucky to get a ball through to Cavani, who then tries to work a 1-2 with Fernandez and does. Forced towards the left corner flank. Konza got a block in. I think that's going to stay in though, and so Martinez can pick it up. It wasn't a back pass anyway. I think Cavani, out of options, was just trying to win the corner. Didn't quite do so. And it remains 0-0 at Old Trafford. Coming up to 84 minutes completed. Not as many chances in the second half. And maybe again Manchester United have shaved the shot count. But this second period, not as many clear-cut opportunities as there was in the first half. In fact, Villa have only had the one. As a ball into the half. Well, David De Gea hasn't said anything to Lindelof. Villa had given up on it. Lindelof has headed it wide of the post for a corner where not one Villa player is gambling on it. David De Gea said nothing there clearly. and Villa have got a corner out of nothing. Can they make it count? Villa had 4 goal attempts in the first half. They've had 1 in the second. I think United had 15, so they've had 10 in the second. But yeah, the better chances came in the first period. That's not to say there haven't been, decent ones in this second either. Corner swung in towards the far post. Ronaldo heads clear. Buendia tries to tee up Ramsey, but it's a bouncing ball that he couldn't get over, and that's high over the bar. Looks as though Villa are going to make another change, and I think Ramsey's coming off. Obviously, he's just had that shot, but it was hardly convincing. I think this is El Ghazi coming on. I'm not quite sure. Didn't see the player. I'm sure I saw 21 flash up on the scoreboard. It's independent, unofficial off-tube studio commentary. Decent game, Ramsey. No, it's not El Ghazi. It's Archer that's coming on in his place. Cameron Archer, youngster, just 19. He's got 5 minutes and injury time, or 4.5 minutes and injury time at Old Trafford, as Villa go for a winner. If we go on history and statistics, maybe an unlikely winner, but I wouldn't necessarily say, if it came, that it was undeserved. Those 3 chances in the first half in particular were, they could have been 3-0 up. Could have been 3-0 up. They were that good, those chances. It's still 1-0 to Man City. They're a couple of minutes ahead of this particular game. Obviously, there was 4 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this first half. Obviously, not so many minutes at the end of first half at Stamford Bridge. They're a couple of minutes ahead. Long throw from Cash. He's come all the way over from the right to the left. Flicked on near post. Who got the touch? Mings made the run. It's come off a United defender last. That's what the referee says. And so the the corner kick is Aston Villa's. This is where Villa want to be late in the game. It's not as late as they might want should they get a winner. But they're putting on the pressure. Lots of jostling. Referees come across to have a word with Cavani and Hauser in particular. But a corner kick, they've caused problems. Konza had a great chance. Delivery in towards the near post. Oh, and it's headed in at the near post by Hauser. What a header as well, because he's ahead of the near post. It needed to be a glancing touch. He's met it absolutely perfectly, and it's gone inside the near post. David De Gea has barely moved, and Aston Villa have the advantage with a shade over 2 minutes left. And as I said, they might be down on the statistic count, the historical account, but in terms of clear-cut chances, they've had enough to have won this game, and they might well just have done that. Looking at that header again, I mean, that's absolutely perfect from Hauser. He couldn't have met it any sweeter at that near post. Of course, Hauser is the only change to either starting 11, and he's only playing because Axel Tanzebi couldn't play against his former club, his loan club. So Aston Villa have got the advantage with 90 seconds left of the 90 now. And as I say, it wouldn't necessarily be undeserved. But that header is brilliant as well, because he's ahead of the near post. He gets too much on it. He's heading it wide of the near post or over the bar. He's got it absolutely spot on. And, Manchester United facing defeat. That's a poor pass from Dalot. It's put Lindelof under pressure, going towards his own goal. Lindelof goes back to De Gea, closed down by Watkins, and that is blocked into touch for a throw in. But into the final minute of the 90, and it might not be, well, I don't think there'll be any more than the 4 minutes added on at the end of the first half. There was an injury to Target, and there have been subs, but it was 4 minutes at the end of that first half as Cash has just took down Dalot. So there will be a free kick to Manchester United, but it's on the halfway line. Didn't see if a yellow card came out there for Cash. It was a tug back, so it might have been. Yeah, it has been confirmed. Yellow card for Matt Cash. Free kick launched towards the edge of the box. Cavani missed it, but so did Mings. Greenwood's kept it alive. He's closed down by Target. And now it's not a great pass. Bond is appealing for a hand ball. 5 minutes of stoppage time. Behind Hauser. Getting a different is open to actually got a looks like they're still VARing it. Martinez. Is he going to get another? What a save. There's a dance from... What a dance from the keeper as well. Over, yeah. Blazed over. He's hammered it down the middle. I thought the hand came up, but no, that's just a horrible. Well.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget when the match kicks
Fernandes will keep penalty. Ronaldo back in the squad. Ronaldo, of course, hasn't scored every penalty he's taken, but you just wonder if there'll be a conflab. Manchester United heading for their first Premier League defeat of the season, but it would be a third defeat in their last 4 games. Out of the League Cup, lost their opening Champions League game, and now heading for a first Premier League defeat at Old Trafford against the team they always beat. They never lose to. They've won a fair few of them, I have to say, but as I've said before Villa scored, it wouldn't be totally undeserved. Yeah, the shot count is Manchester United's for sure, but yeah, all those gilt-edged chances in the first half, United have had a few as well. It's one of those games, chances both ends. Villa have taken one, and time is running out. Villa won't be in a rush to take the goal kick, that is for sure. It was a poor pass for Pogba, but he couldn't keep it in. And now we're beyond the 5 minutes of stoppage time. Possibly when we restart, that'll be the end of it. And it'll be a rare but famous win. And there is the full-time whistle. Aston Villa have won at Old Trafford by a score of 1-0. The goal coming amidst late drama. Courtney Hauser with a brilliant header from a corner to give Villa the lead. He then turned to Villan by conceding a penalty, perhaps harsh, handball given to a Fernandes cross.